Well, hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Faith, Family, and Football. I am your one and only host, Elijah. I want to start off with the Lord's Prayer today. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, I wanted to start off with I hope you all had a wonderful day. I hope you all drove safe in the snow. Snow up here was pretty horrific this morning at about 4 a.m., so that was awesome. But hope you all are safe. Hope you all were safe and continue to be safe and continue to be blessed. So, let's start off with the daily Bible verse here, and it comes from Proverbs chapter 11, verse 25. It is, "The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself." I think that last part of that, he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Being that if you are the one that is watering, you shall also be watered by someone else. I think that's probably what that means. Um, that's a good one. That's a good verse to go off of. But let's go to Matthew chapter 22. And it is more parables, as you can see. Sorry about that. Yawning. Quite tired today. It starts off with the parable of the wedding feast. Verse 1 goes, let me just make sure that I am good. "And again, Jesus spoke to them in parables, saying, The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son, and sent his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again, he sent other servants, saying, Tell those who are invited, See, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fat calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his farm, another to his business, while the rest seized his servants, treated them shamefully, and killed them. The king was angry, and he sent his troops and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, The wedding feast is ready, but those invited were not worthy. Go, therefore, to the main roads and invite to the wedding feast as many as you find." And those servants went out into the roads and gathered all whom they found, both bad and good. So the wedding hall was filled with guests. But but when the king came in to look at the guests, he saw there was a man who had no wedding garment. And he said to him, "Friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment?" And he was speechless. Then the king said to the attendants, "Bind him hand and foot and cast him into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen." Paying taxes to Caesar. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to entangle him in his words. And they sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians, saying, "Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God truthfully, and you do not care about anyone's opinion, for you are not swayed by appearances. Tell us, then, what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus, aware of their malice, said, "Why put me to the test, you hypocrites? Show me the coin for the tax." and they brought him a denarius. And Jesus said to them, Whose likeness and inscription is this? They said, Caesar's. Then he said to them, Therefore render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. When they heard it, they marveled, and they left him and went away. Sadducees ask about the resurrection. The same day Sadducees came to him, who say that there is no resurrection, and they asked him a question, saying, Teacher, Moses said, if a man dies having no children, his brother must marry the widow and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers among us. The first married and died, and having no offspring left his wife to his brother. So to the second and third, down to the 7th. After them all, the woman died. In the resurrection, therefore, of the 7, whose wife will she be? For they all had her. But Jesus answered them, You are wrong, because you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. And as for the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was said to you by God? I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not God of the dead, but of the living. And when the crowd heard it, they were astonished at his teaching. The great commandment. But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. And one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question to test him. Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? And he said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments depend all the law and the prophets. Whose son is the Christ? Now, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them a question, saying, What do you think about Christ? Whose son is he? They said to him, The son of David. They said to him, The son of David. He said to them, How is it that David in the Spirit calls him Lord, saying, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet. If then David calls him Lord, how is he his son? And no one was able to answer him a word, nor from that day did anyone dare to ask him any more questions. And then tomorrow we will go over chapter 23. We are getting very, very close to the end of Matthew here. Potentially might read Matthew chapter 23 and 24. That way we can get a move on and keep on reading. That way we can get most of this stuff done and over with. Not saying that I want to get it over with to get it over with, but just saying I want to be able to read more. That way I can understand more as the days go on and as I'm reading more scripture. So, wanted to go over the one viewer comment that I got from the last video, and it is from Mary Furby, my aunt. And she says, Glad you are back. And she also said, Jesus is King. Thank you very much, Mary, for the Jesus is King comment. And thank you for the glad you are back. Yes, I am glad I am back also. I had a lot of thinking to do about everything pertaining to the channel and getting right with Jesus and everything, because I kind of fell away from Christ for a little bit there over the weekend. I'm glad I'm back in full swing of things because it really keeps my mind sharp on everything to do with Christ. Now, if you have made it this far in the episode, Thank you very much, first off. And I would like you to drop a comment and say, um, let's say Jehovah is Lord in the comments section if you made it to this part in the video. Also, if you could like, comment, and subscribe on this video, that would be amazing. Subscribing is free always, and unsubscribing is also free at any time. It just helps out the channel on the YouTube algorithm and pushes it out to more people, and that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Now, to switch over to football, I'm sorry the energy is a little down. I'm feeling a little ill at the moment. I wanted to go over the 2027 draft QB draft class because me and my buddies at work, we were having a discussion today about potential quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns. Now, I think we kind of all came to an agreement on potentially a thought of the Browns skipping on a draft class with the quarterbacks this year and going with the quarterbacks draft class in 2027. Now, I hope that you all can see where I'm coming with this. Shedeur Sanders has shown a little bit of promise. We want him to continue to improve each week. And if we can continue to have him improve each and every week up till the end of the season, and he can get some weapons around him for next year, I think that would be very, very helpful, as we saw from the mock draft yesterday on what I was thinking with that. Now, to go over the potential 2027 draft class, um, let's take into account that Mendoza and also Ty Simpson are juniors, and they can go back and play in college for one more year. I don't think they will, just because they might be top 5 picks. But somebody like Jaden Mayava is an option from USC. Um, I I'm just talking from guys that I actually know or have heard of that actually have potential. Brendan Sorsby, um, he has potential to come out this year. I don't know. He might, just because of the potential higher draft pick that he might be. Um, Owen McCown, I'm pretty sure that's Luke or Josh McCown's son, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. John Mateer, he might go back another year just because he had such a poor season this year that he might go back and play another year, maybe at Oklahoma again. Um, Darian Mensah, I'm pretty sure he is eligible this year to come out, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say he's eligible to come out, but I don't know. I know Julian Sayin is not. Arch Manning is eligible to come out. Marcel Reed, I think he's next year. So guys from next, like, 2027. When I say next year, I mean 2027. Um, I'm talking like Julian Sayin has an 80+% completion percentage this year, and I know he has the weapons around him, but he's so good. He's so good at dropping the dime on deep passes and just passing in general. Like, he sees the field very, very well. He has the potential to come out in 2027. I obviously Gary and Mensah, he played pretty good this year at Duke, but Duke's just such a dumpster fire. It's so hard to even, like, really, judge it. Arch Manning, I don't think he'll come out this year. I think he'll come out next year. Marcel Reed, mobile, very good. CJ Bailey, I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about Demond Williams. Dante Moore, potential to come out this year, but also has the potential to come out next year, depending on what his decision is. And it's looking like more and more that he's coming out this year from what I'm seeing. So if he were to come out in 2027, that would just make that draft class even better. But some of these guys, like Diego Paiva, he is so mobile. He might potentially actually be able to win the Heisman this year. Sawyer Robinson from Baylor has an arm on him. He's very, very good. But when it comes to the 2027 draft class, it is very, very loaded. Like extremely loaded. Um I'd even if I don't know if he was a true freshman or not, but look at this Drew Mestamaker guy, 29 and 4 on touchdown to interception ratio, had decent completion percentage and had 3,800 passing yards. Like he threw the ball a lot. He'd be another guy that I'd be willing to take a look at. But let's then go to the 2025 free agents as of right now for any releases, anything like that. And then we can sort of look and get a grasp at what the Browns can get going into next year just from free agency. And that is not it. That is not what I need. So let's go 2026 because I think I'm on the wrong one. Maybe. Okay. Let's go quarterback. So, whenever it comes to quarterbacks for this next year, I've already said I would like to see Shedeur Sanders continue to be that guy. I don't know if that'll like keep happening. Maybe I'll just position wise. Let's go find quarterbacks. Wish it would like load. I don't know why it's okay. Let's go back. It's a good website. It's just not responding, and I don't want to sit here and wait, make you guys wait. I don't want a top 25 ranking. I just want to know who's a free agents. So, different free agents going into next season. Daniel Jones, obviously he's a hot commodity. He'd be nice, but he's going to get a fat paycheck, and I don't think we can afford that. Aaron Rodgers will want a lot of money. Joe Flacco will want a decent amount of money. Marcus Mariota, he'd be something for sure. Yeah, we're on this. Okay, cool. I'd be interested potentially in bringing in Marcus Mariota to be a backup. Jimmy Garoppolo, I would not be opposed to because he has so much experience in the E type of offense that we run generally. And even though he's more of a pocket passer, he could help Shador like be able to learn progressions and stuff. Carson Wentz, He's been there, he's done that, but also it's been a long time since he has. I don't know about that. Russell Wilson, I'd be interested potentially in a cheap deal. He's pretty good and he's competitive and he can teach Shador a lot. Malik Willis, young guy, not very much interested in. Tyrod Taylor, I don't know if he'll come back to Cleveland, but I'd be interested to see potentially maybe something like that. Trey Lance, no, absolutely not. I don't think he's worth anything right now. Running backs, we have two good running backs. People are saying Brian Robinson, maybe, but all he is a downhill back. I don't think we need that. Um, we do need a third running back. Maybe Rashad White. Potentially, we could bring in somebody like Rashad White. I think he'd be a decent fit as a pass catcher, but that's about it. Um, Wide receivers. George Pickens is going to resign with Dallas. He'd obviously be the number one guy that everybody's going after because of the stellar season he's having, and he's going to get paid top end money. Rashid Shaheed um, might resign with Seattle. Debo, not really interested. We got Malachi Corley. He's kind of like a mini Debo. Alec Pierce, deep threat. He's fast. He's a deep threat. He's all right. Jacoby Myers, I don't know. I truly think he'll. I think he already signed with Jacksonville again, but I'm not 100% sure. Wandale Robinson, short little slot guy who hasn't really done much. Uh, Romeo Dobbs, maybe, potentially. He's young enough and he can go up and get the ball whenever need be. He's a solid receiver. I would be interested in Romeo Dobbs potentially. Mike Evans, obviously, I would be interested in him. I don't care how old he is. He might even retire next year. Who knows? Keenan Allen, um, he's reliable just in general. He's a good route runner. Jawan Jennings, absolutely not. Get him on my face after what I was hearing that he was saying against us the other week or last week. Tight ends, obviously you want to see David Njoku back, but I don't think that'll happen just from the way our front office runs. We're probably going to let him go because he probably wants too much money to stay in Cleveland. Likely he likely won't go to a division rival. He'll probably sign top end money somewhere. Dallas Goddard, no, too old. Kate Otten, no, not reliable enough. Kyle Pitts, I'd be interested potentially in, but we need a run blocker more than a receiver because of the way Harold Fannin is. I really like him. Kelsey, I'd be interested in maybe like a 1 year type of deal if we're going all in to try to win next year. Mark Andrews, he won't sign with us at all. Chigakonkwo, he's more of a receiving guy. I'm not really interested in him. Now, offensive tackles. This is where we're getting into the nitty gritty part of things. Braden Smith, obviously, top end tackle. He's very, very good. I would be very interested in any of these guys that are like top end guys. Um, we're probably gonna retain Cam Robinson if I had to guess. Um, he's way too old. Jonah Williams, I'd be potentially interested in, but like I'm not gonna pay top end money for him. Like Braden Smith and Colton McKivitz, I'd be more interested in like Rasheed Walker. I'd be interested in also because we do need a tackle like badly to have a starting tackle. Interior offensive line, Linderbaum, obviously, stud. I don't think he'll sign with us, but like, you never know. Trip back to Ohio from, Ohio State. He might be interested in that. If we give him top end money, I'd be very interested to bring in Tyler Linderbaum. He is excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Teller, maybe if he's willing to sign a cheap contract. Um, Elijah Vera Tucker, he's still really, really young. I'd be kind of interested in him. So like, Zeitler, no, he's way too old. Vera Tucker and Linderbaum, if we could land those two guys in this free agency and keep Tevin Jenkins as our other guard, I'd be ecstatic about that. Absolutely ecstatic. Um, we don't really need another edge, considering we just re-signed Alex Wright. I don't think we'll be looking for another edge. Interior defensive line, I don't think we will be because we got our guys that we need, and they're all pretty dang good. Linebacker, could always use Devin Bush. I want to resign. He is so dang good. He is so good this year. It's unbelievable. If we were not to get him back, who am I kidding? I want him back. I want them to make that move. Corners, we need a slot corner and we need one bad because slot corner we have, I love him to death, but man, he's not that good. Um I don't know who the slot corners are. Potentially, dude, Reek Woolen would be solid. Maybe Jamel Dean. Um, Kobe Durant's pretty good. Cam Taylor Britt's always been pretty solid. I wouldn't mind maybe throwing a bone at him. But like Jalen Watson, I'm pretty sure he's a slot. He's pretty good. But like we need a slot corner and bad. Greg Newsome, no, I don't want him back. He's gotten benched over at Jacksonville. And whenever it comes to the safety position, I would like to retain Ronnie Hickman. He's been very, very solid, and he'd probably be cheaper. Um, and let's say we get a backup in like Jaquan Brisker, dude. Jaquan Brisker is a hard hitting dude. He's huge at the back end of that Chicago Bears defense. If they don't resign him, I would love to go after him as a third safety in the back end. Dude, he would be so good. But then I think now let's talk about Myles Garrett, man. He's at 19 sacks so far this season. It's so sad that we're 3-9. We're so bad. But he seriously could potentially break the single season sack record next game. The Titans allow 4 sacks a game. Myles Garrett could get 5 this game. We could potentially, as a team, break the sack record in a game by a team, which would be 12. And then Myles Garrett could potentially get 4 or 5 sacks this game alone. And I might be there to actually witness that, and I would be absolutely thrilled out of my mind to see that. Sorry about that. But I would lose my mind because of how close I am sitting to the field to be able to see, a game this year, and we should not lose this game. If we lose this game, this coaching staff needs to be absolutely obliterated from the ground up because there is no reason we should lose to the Tennessee Titans at all. But Myles Garrett is the one of the only reasons that I will be watching the rest of the games this season because I want to see exactly how many sacks he ends up with after he breaks the sack record, and I know he will be, unless for some godforsaken reason he gets injured. And like I said, I don't want to say that, but I'm knocking on wood. So I'm really, really hoping that he stays healthy and gets that sack record and then continues to just cement his legacy in the history books because he has the potential to do that within 13 games into the season. And imagine if he does that, there's just nobody that would be able to ever touch that. Like, That is insane that he could potentially break the sack record this game, 13 games into the season. Like the games, the amount of games before, whenever it was set by Strahan, was 16. He can do it within 13 games. That is insane. Like I can't even fathom it, to be honest. But yeah, we're at home this week, so hopefully we'll show up and show out, and Myles Garrett will get that fourth sack, maybe fifth or sixth. Heck, let him break the sack record in a game too, while we just demolish the Titans, because I have a feeling this is going to be a spank fest completely. But I'll get into more with my predictions and stuff probably tomorrow. So, guys, thank you very much. If you made it to this point in the episode, go ahead and put Myles Garrett in the comment section. But thank you very much for watching and enjoying listening to me yabber along for the whole entire 30 minutes I've been recording this. And yeah, I love you all. I am praying for you all. Rock on, rock out. Peace.